What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Country Bunkers Trains. As always, I hope you're doing good. A big welcome to all of the new subscribers. Thank you guys for joining. As you may be able to tell, I've been doing quite a bit of work on the layout since the last video. Been putting in many hours, but I think it's coming out pretty good. I'm liking the way she's coming out. It might not look like a whole ton on video, but I tell you what, it was a good little bit of work. I was coming home from work around 6 o'clock and putting in about 4 or 5 hours a night last week after work, working till around 11 o'clock or so. Was a lot of crawling around above and below the layout. A whole lot of placing stuff, drilling holes, wiring stuff up. I'm a pretty big guy. And no, I'm not old, but I'm definitely not 18 anymore. I've been feeling it the past couple days. My legs have been barking at me pretty good. But I think it's well worth it. I'm pretty tickled with how it's coming out. We're about 90 to 95% back up and running from how it was when I started tearing it apart. I've still got a little bit of work to do. I've got the subway route I got to still build underneath. And get the shelf back under there and the curtains and all that good stuff. But it's coming along. But anyway, I'll save all of this for another video for another time. We've got something pretty cool to take a look at today. Before we get started, I did want to take a moment and say that once again I am completely blown away and left in awe. The channel hit over 1,000 subscribers the other day. I think that's so cool. I think it's pretty neat that there's a lot of like-minded O-gauge train fans out there. Once again, guys, I can't thank you enough. I really do appreciate it. A big salute to all of you. As I mentioned in the last video, I was waiting on one of my pre-order items to show up. The day I went to go pick this up is the day we actually hit 1,000 subscribers. I thought it would be pretty appropriate to take a quick little look at this engine. Today I figured we'd take a quick look at this beautiful MTH Premier Jersey Central Lines F3. She was cataloged in MTH's last catalog, the 2020 Volume 2, and could quite possibly be the last F3 produced by MTH. Of course, I say that with a certain level of uncertainty. As we know, Mike Wolf announced earlier this year he is retiring, and that could lead to the possible closure of MTH trains. Obviously, there's been a ton of speculation and rumors going back and forth on people buying the company, not buying the company, and it is going under. Obviously, we don't know what's true and what's not. We won't know until the future, probably not until early next year. However, I do have a feeling or a certain belief that even if it were to carry on, they will never be the same. Now, of course, that could be good or that could be bad. We don't know. However, I do feel it'll never be the same. I hope it does carry on, and I hope the newer trains, if it were to carry on, would be even better. But that's just my little take on it. I did order this with that thought in mind, as I always wanted to get myself an engine just for me and pre-order one, and I had that thought process that this could possibly be the last chance that I had at getting one from MTH. Obviously, yeah, I bought it because I love it as well, but I had that in mind as well while I was buying it. But anyway, as I say, this is the first year I've ever pre-ordered anything from one of the two big manufacturers. I actually pre-ordered another engine set from another big O-gauge manufacturer. And I ordered this one as well a little bit later on in the year. And I'm pretty happy that I did. I kind of feel bad, actually. As awesome as this engine is, and I was really waiting for this one to show up, I'm still on cloud 9 over getting that Z5 Yellowstone engine that I showed off in the last video. I feel like I'm cheating on this one a little bit. But no, I am. I'm pretty glad I got her. I ordered her as a powered A, a dummy B, and a dummy A. When I was originally ordering this engine, I was just going to get a powered A and a dummy B. However, Tony at Roundhouse South convinced me to get a dummy A at least with it as well, and I'm glad he did. It really helped round out the set and make it look complete. Like I say, I'm pretty tickled with it. It looks fantastic. Of course, she comes equipped with all the modern day MTH Premier features and details that we've come to know and love. She features an intricately detailed ABS body, die-cast truck sides, pilots, and fuel tank, metal chassis, handrails, and horn, movable roof fans, hand-painted engineer cab figures, authentic paint scheme, metal wheels, axles, gears, and body side grills, 2 remote control proto couplers on the powered unit, one in the front and one in the back, Rule 17 lighting, constant voltage LED headlight on both the powered and the dummy unit, lighted LED cab interior lights. She sports illuminated LED number boards, LED marker lights. The powered unit comes with 2 precision flywheel equipped motors, operating proto smoke, of course. She can run on DCS or DCC control. She comes equipped with Proto Sound 3 with freight sounds announcements, which we'll get to hear in a little bit. MTH says, or claims, the smallest curve for this engine is 0.31, which I believe that. It's not a huge engine. She's also advertised as having the quillable horn. However, I have not been able to figure out how to work it. On my other MTH engines, you operate the quillable horn with the SFI, I believe it is, soft key. However, I do not have this option in the remote with this engine. Not that that's a deal breaker for me, I don't really use it. It's fun for the first 5 minutes or so, but after that, I never use it again. But I wish I could figure out how the hell it works on this engine. If you've been around the channel for a little while, you may know that I am a huge F3 fan. I've got a ton of the post-war Lionel F3’s that I really love the hell out of. But this is actually my first scale F3. And like I say, I'm pretty impressed by it. It looks fantastic. My favorite thing about this engine, believe it or not, is the paint. MTH did a hell of a job on the paint job of this engine. It looks beautiful. It really popped when I was opening the box. It really stands out. As I've said before, obviously I am a huge fan of MTH trains for the modern engines and equipment. I really do enjoy and love the hell out of them. However, for these videos, I try to be fair and somewhat unbiased as much as possible. I do have a couple small qualms with this engine. The first, and honestly the biggest qualm I have with it, is the rear, or the coupler on the front of the rear dummy A. It's very, very touchy and finicky. All my track is pretty square and level, but I do have a couple bumps on the bridge back there when it transitions from the track to the bridge. Anytime the engine, or the dummy engine, hit that bridge, the coupler would come uncoupled from the train. I also noticed it doing it on the curves on the lower section of the layout as well. I got pretty tired of it after trying to run it a couple times and said to hell with it. I took some black thread and wired the coupler shut so it cannot open anymore. Like I say, it was pretty finicky. It's not a deal breaker for me. I never really use the operating couplers. I don't have operating track or anything like that. I don't know if it's just this particular engine or model or what, but it was kind of a pain in the ass. My second qualm is the coupler spacing. Not so much on the 2 dummy units, but the operating coupler on the A is quite long. I understand why. Like I say, this engine's designed to be able to run on 0.31 curves, but it kind of gives this engine, this Premier engine, a Rail King engine look, if you will. I guess I'm just getting spoiled with all the the new Premier engines that I've been getting lately. Not a big deal, again, not a deal breaker, but I think it could have been done a little tiny bit better. But again, I understand why. And my last little qualm, as I mentioned, this engine sports freight sounds announcements. I noticed after the announcements were made and the engine would start back up, normally the bell keeps dinging for a little bit while the engine starts back up, coming out of its sequence. For some reason in this sound set, the bell only dings once and then it gets right back to running. Again, not a big or huge ordeal, but just something I noticed. I mentioned a few videos ago on how I was picking up all these MTH military cars for an engine that I had ordered. This happens to be the engine that I ordered. But yeah, I figured this would make for a proper military train, having an all-green engine and green consist. After seeing it live and in person now, I think it was the right call. No, the green's not exactly the same, but I think this thing looks great. It looks right at home, pulling this military load. But anyways, guys, enough of my babbling. Let's go ahead and get her fired up.
Is she ready to go? Check that oil level. Oil level looks good. Thanks, bud. Okay, ready to pull out.
Here's the bell. And here's the horn. Like I was saying earlier, this engine is advertised as having the quillable horn, but I'll be damned if I can figure it out how it works.
Check that out.
Or if it does have it. We're all warmed up. Let's go ahead and move her out.
couple things. If they didn't work out, we'll call them back. Restart everything from scratch, and if that still doesn't work, we'll give you a call back.
They making out of
The jumper cable wasn't hooked up to it. It started up and the bell stopped, and then I hooked the jumper cable up and it was okay. Yeah, we got our engine problem solved.
So you got your problem corrected?
Yeah, we got the problem corrected.
Alright, okay, drive east and you'll work your way west through number 37 track when you can, over.
Can't work away and take those two big engines and I guess we'll have to work them, put them up the lead, then bring them back.
Yes, please. Roger.
I hope you guys enjoyed this quick peek at the MTH Premier Jersey Central Lines F3. If you did, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It would be much appreciated. Until next time, guys, my name is Zach, and this is Country Bunkers Trains. Y'all take care. I'll see you the next go-around.